I'll give you a little bit of an overview regarding the Running Dry project, just so you know what I've been doing. This all started, I mean, I was producing other kinds of things, projects on the criminal justice system and various other kinds of things, but I also have a background as an environmental planner, and in around 2002, 2003, I connected with former United States Senator Paul Simon, and who had written a wonderful book called Tapped Out. If you have a chance, you ought to read it, because it's really an important book. It's kind of like the primer for the water crisis. Everybody reads that book. It's really fundamental. And he wrote this book, and I proposed the idea of maybe putting together a massive public information education program. And that's what happened. I produced a big documentary called Running Dry, and it was presented all over the world. And at the same time, it was presented on Capitol Hill, and it became the genesis for the Paul Simon Water for the Poor Act. And then I, after presenting it, and it's all about the global water crisis, I then felt it was really important that I also try to let the American public know that we have a problem here in the United States. So I produced a documentary called The American Southwest Are We Running Dry? And you're going to see the broadcast version of that tonight. And I've been working on other projects, and you'll see a little video that I just put together. I'm going to open it up showing this little video on the Water for the World Act, which is a piece of legislation which is a continuation of the Water for the Poor Act. And it's been introduced in the Senate, and will soon to be voted on in the Senate, but is also now going to be introduced in the House, and hopefully it'll pass in spite of all the animosity and the gridlock we have in Congress. I'm also it's really important that we penetrate into the psyche of Americans about the gravity of the water crisis. American people take water for granted. You know, we turn on the tap, we get it, we don't think about it, it doesn't cost very much, and yet we do have some very, very serious problems here regionally. We've got problems across the country, from Phoenix, Arizona, all the way across the country. We've had drought issues that are unprecedented. And I was recently in Las Vegas, New Mexico. There's a little town called Las Vegas. Actually, it has 3 universities. And they're out of water. They're running out of water. The mayor, in fact, I just held a big event in Washington, D.C., New York City, I should say, at the United Nations, and one of my speakers was the mayor of Las Vegas, just to talk about the problems we have in this country. And there's a big serious problem here, because if you don't recognize our own problems, then you're probably not going to recognize the global issues, which, you know, every day 4,000 little children die. And 2.5, I mean, two people out of 5 don't have sanitation. You think about the gravity of a situation like that. And every 15 seconds a child dies from a lack of water or water-related diseases. And the implications of this are really profound, because you really stop thinking about it. You know, it's all connected. Water scarcity, climate change, drought, and its connection to public health, energy, food supply, agriculture, poverty, massive population growth, which we're projecting we could have as many as 10 billion people on the planet by 2050, and then ultimately international security. Because if people are running out of water and don't have enough food, you can imagine the ramifications in terms of the potential for war. Say, for an example, India, Pakistan, and China. I mean, all 3 have nuclear weapons. So we have population growth and famine. People are going to do anything to get water. So anyway, the first thing I'm going to show you is a little 7.5-minute video on the Water for the World. And I just organized a big event, a water education event at the United Nations, and I presented this film. So it's 7.5 minutes, and I think you'll get an idea of the gravity of the problem and the importance of passing this legislation. So this is the water for the world.